Welcome to the game view. This is Sean with Total Packers. This is the Week 13 game, the big victory for the Packers over the Detroit Lions. This is the first play of the game here for the Packers offensively, first play for either team offensively. And if you remember when the Packers played Detroit the first time at Lambeau Field, Detroit kind of played off coverage, gift coverage on the first drive of the game for the Packers. Packers had success going down the field on their first drive. You see here that the Lions were not going to make the same mistake twice. This is the first drive for the Packers, and the Lions are playing the same defense that the Packers should be very used to seeing at this point. The Lions are playing bump and run at the line, at all their defensive backs in the faces of the wide receivers for the Packers. They also have their safety here cheating up, ready to support the run, giving the Lions 7 guys against 6 possible blockers for the Packers. Still on this play, James Starks is going to be decisive, make a good cut here off of the double team, and pick up a quick 5 yards for the Packers to start the game. Actually closer to 6. Okay, this is just a couple plays later for the Packers. You can see the Lions are in the exact same defense they were just in. The reason why I'm showing this play is there has been talk, about Davante Adams not running good routes, about him looking a little slow out there in his routes. Here, you can actually see he runs a great route and gets open down the field. Could be a big play here for the Packers. You see him make the stutter move to the outside, back to the inside. He's actually going to run a deep post here. And if Rodgers was looking for him, the safety is staying put right in the middle of the field and will not be in on the play. If Rodgers was looking for Adams, you could have a big play here for Adams on the deep post. But Rodgers does not look that way, and if he wasn't going to go that way, he does make a decent read by deciding to dump it to James Starks. Starks is open and has a chance for first down here. Unfortunately, James Starks is still James Starks, and he drops the football. Okay, it is 2nd and 18 here after a penalty was called on Josh Sitton, a very unfortunate one that erased a 40-yard gain on a screenplay to James Starks. Here we finally see what we've been waiting for, as Aaron Rodgers is going to take a deep shot here to Jeff Janis. You see the Lions, because it is 2nd and 18, they're actually playing an off coverage this time around. And as we see here, we do get kind of an idea as far as why the Packers don't try going deep to Janis more often. He once again does run by the defender. We've seen him do that before. The problem is that when he turns to look for the ball, he seems to kind of then run sideways. Once he turns, he kind of has a difficulty as far as continuing to run full speed upfield while looking for the ball. He should just be turning his head to do that. Instead, he's actually kind of opening up with his hips a little bit and causing him to kind of run sideways. And that slows him down enough so that the defender is then right on him, and he doesn't end up getting to the ball. It ends up being just out of his reach. I think a little better technique there by Janis, just simply continuing to run full out, he would have gotten to that pass. All right, Detroit has a 3-0 lead already here at this point. This is their touchdown drive that would make it 10-0. This is the key play of that drive. Here, it's going to be a big run for the Lions. The Packers are clearly in a run defense. They have their base defense on the field. They actually have Clinton Dix up near the line of scrimmage. So they have 8 guys here to stop the run. So this should not have been a defense that should have been vulnerable to a big run. That's exactly what happens here. You see it a couple times in the game that B.J. Raji actually got such good penetration that he ended up taking himself right out of the game, right out of the play a couple times. Here it really ends up being a disaster for the Packers when Raji gets too quickly upfield. Daniels at the same time does a swim move around the outside of his guy. That opens up a huge hole right here. The center is going to get out and basically just hold Clay Matthews. And with Matthews neutralized, both Jake Ryan and Clinton Dix were too stubborn, staying over on the right side, left a huge gap on the other side of the line. And that's a tough situation right there for Morgan Burnett to be in. At least he actually forced Abdullah to cut back towards the middle of the field. Abdullah shows his speed here to break off 37 yards before the Packers finally chase him down. The Lions would score shortly after from there to make it a 10-0 lead. All right, this is the next possession for the Packers. It's 10-0 Detroit lead right here, and this is going to be a very big play for Detroit. It's going to help them get their lead out to 17-0. In this play, Aaron Rodgers is going to fake the run there to Lacy. Rodgers then probably would have been best off to just dump Lacy the ball as he is open right here. Instead, Rodgers decides to get out of the pocket. He was originally looking for Randall Cobb coming across. That was well covered by the linebackers dropping back. Not a great angle taken by Cobb on that route. Rogers gets out here. He ends up throwing this pass a little high to a wide open James Jones. Jones still probably could have caught this ball, though. Kind of Glover Quinn here gets a pretty big break as he's actually playing very soft coverage here, but the ball just very, fortunately for him, just kind of deflects right off of Jones and ends up going right to him so that he can kind of catch it right in stride and head up the sideline. So just a very nice gift for Quinn there. Lions would, in one play, would turn that into another touchdown and a quick 17-0 lead on the Packers. We are in the second half, and it is 20-0 Detroit at this point. This is the play that kind of got the Packer offense jump-started and started their comeback. It is 3rd and 10, so they're looking at a quick 3-and-out after the Lions got out 20-0. Really looks like the Packer offense is just going to be terrible this whole game, and this is just going to be a rout for the Lions. However, on this play, Aaron Rodgers makes a very good play here. For one thing, he stays strong in the pocket. He's not looking to run out, even though a 5-man blitz was on. Then when he does look to move, he actually comes straight ahead and keeps his eyes looking downfield. Richard Rodgers also made a nice play here. He originally was on a seam route coming straight down the field. Once that wasn't thrown to him, he actually then started running sideways, takes a route across the field here, and Aaron Rodgers is going to find him, makes a nice little flick pass there. And on 3rd and 10, the Packers end up getting a 26-yard play to Richard Rodgers. Really kind of got their big first drive going that would get a touchdown and nail the lead to 20-7. This is absolutely one of the most important plays of the game, kind of overlooked in the big comeback for the Packers. This is going to be a huge fumble here for James Starks. If the Lions would have recovered this, still would have had a 20-0 lead, and really think the Packers probably would have been done at this point. Fortunately, as you're going to see on this play, Randall Cobb was actually going out for a pass here. So this is clearly another one of those run-pass options that Aaron Rodgers has. He could throw a quick screen here to James Jones, or he could throw the quick dump to Randall Cobb, which was kind of there. Fortunately, Cobb, not only does he run upfield like he's going to go for a pass, which places him near the football after it ends up coming out, but then he also is alert enough to keep his eyes on the ball right there and then jumps on it. A huge recovery for the Packers for them to get that touchdown and get back, giving themselves a chance in this game. This is another big play for the Packers. Right after Julius Peppers got a strip sack on Stafford, gave the Packers the ball back deep in Lions territory. The Packers had a chance here to get another quick touchdown and get themselves right back in the game. Unfortunately, here they are facing a 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. This is a position which the Packers have been failing recently. They've been unable to get the ball in the end zone. We saw it against the Bears numerous times. If they could have scored in these situations, they would have won that game. But here they do finally manage to get the job done. This is going to be a very well-designed play and a good throw by Aaron Rodgers. Here, basically facing a 2-deep zone defense, the Packers going to run Richard Rodgers right in through the zone here, and that takes the attention of the safety. Aaron Rodgers here can see that the safety is totally dedicated to covering Richard Rodgers, and he's not covering the middle of the field. That leaves the middle of the field wide open. So basically, Devontae Adams is just going to run a little stutter and go here. He's going to go right to the middle. Rodgers, even though this is going to be a fairly tight window, he has the courage this time to stick this one in there, throws a very nice pass, and that is a big touchdown for the Packers. And now, quite quickly, we have a 20-14 game. All right, the comeback for the Packers looked like it might go for naught when the Lions drove down the field. Not only did they have a long time-consuming drive, but they were able to kick a field goal. Go ahead, 23-14. At this point, there's around 3 minutes only left to go in the game. The Packers here are facing 3rd down. On this play, all the receivers are truly covered on this play. There really is nowhere to go for Rodgers to go on this play. Fortunately, all the receivers, for whatever reason, run right to the back of the end zone, and the Detroit defensive backs follow them and then stay with them with their back turned to Rodgers. This allows Rodgers to run all the way for a touchdown. As we stop it here, you can see James Jones up top is being double teamed. Everybody else is pretty much blanket on the play. Really nowhere to go for Rodgers. He does the right thing by running out of the pocket here. Gets a good head of steam. And here you can see that all the Lions all way in the back of the end zone along with the Packer receivers. I have no idea why the Packer receivers are all running right to the back of the end zone, but fortunately they brought the Lion defenders with them. Lion defenders never bother to turn around and look for Rodgers until it's too late. And that is a big touchdown for the Packers that makes the score 23-21 at this point. The Lions have the ball back. They have a chance to run out the clock here, and that's what they're trying to do, but it's 3rd and 10. And 3rd and 10, and what do you know? The Packers are actually playing in they're not doing anything fancy here. They're actually sitting in a straight 2-deep zone. They're double covering the outside receivers, possibly because the Lions have Calvin Johnson. Might have something to do with that they wanted to double cover him. So here you can see that both the safeties are back, covering half the field. Normal 2-deep look here. With this look, there's really only 2 places Stafford could go with the ball. One is to the inside slot guy that is running on Quinton Rollins. Otherwise, he could try the out here to the tight end, but that looks like it would be short of the first down. Fortunately for Stafford, the Packers have the pass rush has vacated the middle of the field and gives Stafford a good alley to look through here. So that way he can see the middle of the field and throw a great pass here right to Jones. That is just going to be Rollins. That's actually great coverage by Rollins, but when he dove, he missed the ball, and Jones just barely managed to catch it. And that is a big 29-yard gain, a first down for the Lions, and it looked like it would be game over at that point. So we're going to get another look here exactly how close this pass was from when we see it from behind. Just threaded it in there. All right, this might be a different look at a play that you've seen probably about 100 times by now. This is the Hail Mary that is going to win the game. As you can see here on the first look, the Lions indeed are not playing for the Hail Mary. They are playing for the lateral play once again. Apparently it's true that the Lions head coach Jim Caldwell did not think that Rodgers could throw the ball far enough to complete a 61-yard Hail Mary. There's fairly good reason to think that, considering that nobody had ever done it before. That is the longest Hail Mary ever completed. Here we see Rodgers get out of the pocket. The Lions, the Packers, receivers still have a ways to go before getting to the end zone, but they're going to continue going that way. This is Richard Rodgers right here. He has actually stopped around the 10. Otherwise, he would have made the end zone just like everybody else. But he stopped to actually look back for the ball, and now here he is tracking it. And everybody else, Lions and Packers, were all 3-4 yards deep in the end zone. That is going to end up being great for the Packers, as Richard Rodgers' guy had left him and joined the end zone party. And here Rodgers backs up enough, makes the leap, and makes the grab. And that is a fairly easy, though miraculous game-winning touchdown there for the Packers. Here we can see the celebration there by the Packers. That is possibly the best part of the play. We can only hope that the celebration as the Packers here finally show some emotion, and we only hope that this play springboards the Packers and kind of jump starts their offense a little bit more to lead this team to something better this year.